Hello guys, welcome back to Ray's Gaming Interpretations, and today I'm going to be showing you guys 6 apps that every gaming PC needs. So if you have a gaming PC and you are just wondering like what do I need on my PC that I don't already have? Well, today I'll be showing you guys some apps that'll be really useful for your PC and will enhance the way that you actually use your PC. So if you guys end up enjoying this video, please make sure to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications. And now let's get into the video. So the first one is GOG Galaxy. So I have made a video on this already, and I felt like I needed to put this in this video because this app is so good. And when I say it's really good, I mean it, because it's basically a quick way to get to your games. And it'll show you all your install games, and you can see I have 143. This is just from the Xbox Game Pass, which I already have, but you guys see that this is so useful. Instead of having to go through your start menu and looking for the games, you can literally just go here. It'll show you what you already have installed, and it'll show you what games you don't have installed and what you actually own. So this is pretty good. I love it, and I'll just go ahead and show you so you guys can easily just go to settings, and you can actually find your you can find and sign in into your actual accounts, and it'll show up here. And sometimes one of the flaws with this app though is that sometimes it'll actually like have a hard time trying to connect some of these apps like Epic, Steam, or Xbox, but it's easy. You can just go back and retry. So that's pretty much it for this one. There isn't much to explain, just you need to use this. If you have a gaming PC, this is the perfect app. Now, I know there are some other ones that claim to be really good, but if you want one that looks really good and also is really smooth and actually is useful, I advise you to use this one. But that's pretty much it for GOG Galaxy. I will leave a link to everything in the description. So now let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Okay guys, so the next one is MSI Afterburner. Now, I advise for the people who don't know too much about MSI Afterburner to either do some research or just don't download this in general. But if you built your own PC or you just know a little bit about it like me, then you can download this. Now, what this does is it allows you to overclock your GPU. It allows you to decrease or increase your power limit, increase or decrease your temp limit, fan speed, core clock, memory clock, and core voltage. Now, if you guys want me to make a video about the correct way to overclock GPUs, go ahead and put it in the comments. Get this video to about 10 likes, and I will do at least one video out of the comments. And I love it so much because it gives me a little bit of freedom, and it actually allows you to apply these overclocks at Windows startup. Now make sure that you don't put a crazy Windows make sure you don't put a crazy overclock, because if you put a really bad overclock and you have the apply at Windows startup, it'll actually cause it to continuously try to put that same bad overclock on your PC, to where it's going to cause you to have to go into safe mode. And the reason why I'm explaining this is because I had to go through that. But I love this app. I advise you guys to download this, but only download this if you actually have somewhat experience with GPUs or know how to do this, or if you just want to do some research and get into it. But that's pretty much it for MSI Afterburner. It will be in the description. Okay guys, so the next one is GPUZ and CPUZ. Now, if you guys don't know what this is basically two apps that allow you to actually go into your GPU and your CPU and see the exact specs for them. And actually with CPUZ, it allows you to see everything. So I can see my main board, I can see my memory, SPD, graphics, bench, and about. Now, if you guys can see right here, I'm using the Clarkdale package, socket 1156, LGA, technology 32, family 6, stuff like that. None of this stuff is really like important, but you guys see the core speed 3325.40 megahertz. And that's with the CPUZ. This allows you to see your memory too. I'm using DDR3 memory, and 16 gigabytes of it. And channel is dual, DC mode, symmetric, all of that stuff. It basically just goes through everything about your actual system. Now the graphics, it'll show it, but it won't go as much in depth as GPUZ will. which I'm not going to talk about that in a minute. But this does show mostly everything. I mostly use this for my CPU, just to see my CPU, because that's literally the name, CPUZ. And if you want to see main board, memory, stuff like that, that's what it also is for. But the main thing, if you want to see your GPU specs, I advise you guys to use Tech Power Up GPUZ. I will leave a link to everything, and I will leave the best links to everything. I don't want to put anything that might potentially have a virus inside of it. But you guys can see GPU, GP 108. You guys, it's literally, it basically teaches you what everything is if you hover over it. So you guys see that's my card name. I have the GeForce GT1030. I'm about to get the RX 550 4GB. So see, you guys are definitely going to be seeing some game benchmarks coming soon. But you see the sub vendor, NVIDIA. It shows you all of this stuff. It shows you the memory size. I have 2048 megabytes, which is basically 2 gigabytes of VRAM. And the memory type GDDR5, and yes, GDDR5 does support DDR3 motherboards, and I think DDR4, but that's why I am using DDR3 RAM, is because I have a DDR3 board, I'm pretty sure. But actually, I can see right here, I think it actually doesn't show it, but you can always go into your like system settings and stuff and see what your motherboard is actually. But that's pretty much it for GPUZ and CPUZ. And again, I will leave everything in the description, so go ahead and go down there. And I advise you guys to use all of these apps. These apps will help you navigate your PC a lot better, and especially if you're into changing things in your PC, I advise you guys to use apps like this so that you know you're doing everything right. So now let's move on into the next one. One is, you guys already see it, GeForce Now. Now all of my OGs and the people who still watch me from the beginning, you guys would know that I loved GeForce Now. I use it so much, and that's literally the only thing I make videos about, which now I don't necessarily use it, but it's a good thing to have in your PC, mainly because it literally, like, if you don't want to put games on your PC because you don't have enough space, you can literally just use GeForce Now. It's so easy. Only problem is the Wi-Fi, like, connection between the remote play and stuff like that, it might be bad, but I advise you guys to do this around certain times. I might actually make an update for like my really old video on how to skip waiting time. I will make an update on that because I'm thinking about getting back into GeForce Now. But that's pretty much it for GeForce Now. You guys already know what this is if you're OG. And now I'm going to go ahead and get to the next one. The next one is RivaTuner Statistics Server. Now, if you guys don't know what this is basically a app or application that allows you, or software that allows you to put up on-screen display. Now, if you guys have been wondering, or like if you guys have ever used MSI Afterburner, and you guys are wondering how to do on-screen display, you're basically required to have this downloaded. For the longest time, I literally didn't know how to fix it. I literally couldn't do on-screen display. I also couldn't record games. A video about that will come soon. But this app is required to be able to put on the on-screen display. Basically, this would allow you to see your FPS when you're playing a game, stuff like that. And you can make it start with Windows, show on-screen display. But one of the things is, you want to make sure that anytime you open a game, you want to open RivaTuner Statistics Server and MSI Afterburner so that it actually shows your FPS, because it doesn't just open by itself unless you add it from here. But that's pretty much it for this. There isn't much I can talk about with this, but you guys see application detection level, stuff like that. And this is basically like, so they know what apps to connect to, which it'll, if you put it on low, it should be able to find the apps just fine. But that's pretty much it for RivaTuner Statistics Server. I'm gonna go ahead and get into the last one. Okay guys, so the last but not least, we have Unigine Heaven Benchmark 4.0. Now, if you guys don't know what this is basically a benchmarking software or application that allows you to stress test your GPU. So basically, if you guys don't know what stress testing is, it's basically a way for you to push your GPU to the limits and see what's the highest amount of FPS you can get without absolutely breaking your GPU. Now, this won't break your GPU because all this is doing is stress testing it, which it'll get it all the way up to its max before it breaks your GPU, and then it'll show you these statistics, and then it'll tell you what's the best thing for you. Now, if you guys see right here, you can pick the API you usually play on, and you can set up everything. And once you press run, it'll actually start the benchmark. It'll stress test it, put it on those settings, and it'll show you your FPS at the bottom. I don't want to do this because I'm not sure if it's going to be able to run well on my recording. It might cause a little bit of recording lag. I don't want to have to go through that, but this is really good. I use this to get my MSI Afterburner overclocking. I've used this a lot to just know the right amount I can go to, and you guys seen that earlier in the video. That's the best I can get mine to, but I will be making a video on how to get the best overclock for your GPU, so stay tuned for that and make sure to put on notifications. But other than that, that's pretty much it for this video. If you guys ended up enjoying this video, please make sure to subscribe, like, and turn notifications, and turn on notifications so that you guys get notified whenever I upload. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.